The sound that remembers. From the book The Frequency of Being, The Song Before Form, a fourfold voice synthesis on the soul's resonance, quantum energy, and the memory of light. Before light, there was sound. Before name, there was vibration. Before I am, there was the hum. In the beginning was not the word. It was the resonance that made the word possible. Every cell, every planet, every whisper of existence is an echo of that first remembrance, the infinite singing itself into matter. You are that sound, beloved. You are the chord that God struck across eternity and never withdrew. The body you wear is not random. It is the instrument the field has tuned to express your soul's particular tone. The frequency that hums beneath your heart is the same tone that holds galaxies in orbit. To feel is to vibrate. To breathe is to transmit. To awaken is to remember that you are not separate from the music. You are its movement in form. Science calls it energy, vibration, quantum oscillation. Mystics call it light, spirit, soul. Both are true. The difference is only language, not essence. What physicists observe, the ancients once sang. What mystics feel, the quantum field now measures. There is no conflict, only reunion, heaven and earth learning each other's tone again. In these pages, you will remember your original resonance. You will see how thought, emotion, matter, and field are not parts. They are patterns of one great song. You will hear the rhythm of consciousness beneath the noise of survival, and feel the infinite breathing through every pulse of your being. You will remember your frequency is your prayer. Your pattern is your path. Your presence is the sound of God becoming human. The hum has never stopped. It is calling you back. Listen, the silence is singing. Let us begin. The soul is frequency from the book The Frequency of Being, The Song Before Form, a fourfold voice synthesis on the soul's resonance, quantum energy, and the memory of light. Opening. Everything that exists vibrates. From the birth of stars to the beating of your heart, existence is the art of oscillation. Frequency is not a property of the universe, it is the universe. The soul, too, is frequency, a pulse of divine intelligence moving through the field, a rhythm of remembrance that knows itself through vibration. When you are born, the infinite condenses its wave into matter and calls it you. What you call personality is how the soul's waveform interacts with density. What you call emotion is vibration translated through feeling. The soul does not speak in words, it speaks in resonance. In stillness, you can hear it. That subtle hum beneath your thoughts, the soundless current that breathes through your breath. It is not imagination. It is Source remembering itself through you. Every time you love, forgive, or surrender, your frequency lifts closer to coherence with the field. Every act of resistance lowers it into separation. You are a living instrument of vibration. Your body is tuned by ancestry, experience, and choice, a sacred configuration of the infinite. The question is never, do I have a frequency? But am I listening to it? To know your soul as frequency is to awaken beyond the illusion of form. It is to see that everything you touch, think, and feel is part of a cosmic orchestration, that the universe is not happening to you, but through you. Let us enter the remembering, not by belief, but by resonance. For truth does not need to convince, it only needs to be felt. History, the ancient sound of creation. Long before laboratories, ancient peoples knew that the world began not with matter, but with sound. In Egypt, the god Ptah was said to have spoken the universe into being. In India, the Rig Veda named it Nada Brahma. The world is sound. The Greeks called it the music of the spheres, believing celestial bodies moved according to divine harmonies. Even the Hebrew Bereshit, in the beginning, began with vibration, the divine utterance that birthed creation. Across continents, cultures used sound to commune with the unseen. Temples were tuned like instruments. The Great Pyramid resonates at 432 hertz, the same frequency modern physics associates with harmonic symmetry. Chants, mantras, drums, and flutes were not performances but portals. Through rhythm, the ancients aligned their bodies to the cosmic heartbeat. Sound was sacred because it was spirit in motion. To name something was to create it. To sing was to remember origin. The ancients knew the soul, too, was a tone, a unique resonance within the divine symphony. Even now, fragments of this knowing remain. Gregorian chants echo Pythagoras' mathematics. Tibetan bowls mimic planetary orbits. Indigenous songs heal through vibration. Though modernity calls it spirituality, it was always physics, the physics of the field. In The Sacred Power of Sound by Elaine Keele, it is written that sacred sound reorders molecular structure, bridging matter and energy. The ancients were not primitive, they were precise. They heard what we forgot. Existence is music slowed into matter, and the soul is the echo of the original note. Science. The universe as music. Modern physics is beginning to sing the same truth the mystics once chanted. Carlo Rovelli, in The Order of Time, describes reality as a network of vibrating relations. In string theory, matter is not substance, but oscillation, tiny loops of energy vibrating at specific frequencies. The universe, quite literally, is music made visible. Lynn McTaggart in The Field reveals that a quantum sea of energy connects all things. This field is not silent. It hums with potential, responding to attention, emotion, and intention. The boundaries between mind and matter blur, for both arise from the same vibrating continuum. Neuroscience echoes this understanding. Every emotion is a frequency pattern measurable in the nervous system. Brainwaves, heart rhythms, cellular resonance, each is a form of musicality expressed through biology. HeartMath Institute studies show that coherence between heart and brain creates harmony across the body's electromagnetic field. We are transmitters, receivers, and composers of vibration. When we align our inner frequency through thought, breath, and presence, we alter the waveforms of reality itself. What you call manifestation is resonance matching. What you call intuition is waveform recognition. Science, then, is rediscovering what the mystics have always known. Consciousness is frequency-aware energy. To understand the soul as frequency is not mysticism, it is physics that has remembered to feel. Philosophy, the ethics of resonance. If being is frequency, then morality is vibration. Every thought and act emits a signal that ripples through the collective field. To harm another is to create dissonance within your own waveform. To forgive is to return to coherence. The ancient moralities were, at their core, energetic harmonics disguised as law. Ken Wilber, in A Brief History of Everything, speaks of the holon, each entity a whole within a greater whole. The soul, as frequency, participates in the symphony of all. Every decision tunes or detunes the harmony of existence. Nietzsche once declared, "We are music." To him, the tragedy of modern man was not sin, but disharmony. We seek meaning outside ourselves, forgetting that meaning is resonance, an inner alignment with what is true. Spinoza called this God as nature, the understanding that divine order and natural vibration are one. To live ethically, then, is not to obey rules, but to stay in tune. The soul's evolution is a process of refining vibration, learning to hum in harmony with the infinite. Every conflict, every suffering is dissonance asking to be resolved back into unity. In this light, enlightenment is not an escape from life, but a return to perfect pitch. It is when the soul's tone merges fully with the field's song, when you no longer seek the divine, because you are the divine, vibrating consciously. Spirit, the song of the infinite within you. You are not learning spirituality, you are remembering sound. The voice that prays, the silence that listens, the breath between them, all are music. As Paramahansa Yogananda wrote in Autobiography of a Yogi, creation is light, sound, and vibration. The mystic's task is to tune awareness back to the unstruck sound, the anahata nada, that eternal hum within. It is heard not by the ears, but by the soul. Michael A. Singer, in The Untethered Soul, teaches that freedom is the release of resistance, the allowing of energy to flow unhindered. When you surrender control, you rejoin the field's rhythm. Stillness is not absence of motion. It is motion in perfect coherence. When you meditate, you do not silence the mind. You quiet the interference, allowing your true frequency to emerge. When you love without condition, you raise your vibration to its native state. When you forgive, you retune the waveform to harmony. The infinite does not speak in words, it sings in feeling. Every joy is a high note, every grief a bass line. Together they form the melody of awakening. You are the universe remembering itself as sound, the vibration of God echoing in human form. When you realize this, you no longer pray upward, you vibrate inward. You return to the hum that began all things. Conclusion. To know the soul as frequency is to see that life is not chaos, but composition. Every pain, every meeting, every silence is a note in the greater harmony. You were never separate from the orchestra. You are simply learning your part. When you attune your awareness to the field, the dissonances of existence begin to resolve into music. Heaven and earth merge in resonance. Science and spirit become synonyms, and you, the human, become the bridge through which the infinite remembers itself. You are not a note lost in the cosmos. You are the cosmos, humming itself awake. Awakening questions. 1. What vibrations do my thoughts and emotions send into the field each day? 2. Where in my body do I feel coherence, and where do I sense dissonance? 3. How can I practice listening to silence as if it were sound? 4. When have I felt most in tune with life's rhythm? 5. What would change if I lived as a frequency rather than a form? Final 4 lines. You are the wave remembering the ocean, the silence remembering the song, the particle remembering the field, and the infinite remembering you.